Starting off, this happened nearly 10 years ago, but I recently spoke with an old co-worker that I ran into again, and talking about the old day it was brought up. And that's when I realized the feeling of being stalked wasn't limited to me. When I was about 22 and working for a small security company of only 18 people at the time, we worked in an area tourism location called Seven Falls in southwest Colorado Springs in the Cheyenne Mountain Canyon area. I remember the shifts being grueling, due mostly to the fact that we were mostly in direct sunlight during the afternoon and evening. And an average shift, we were expected to walk a minimum of 7 miles between the base of the parking area to the top of the falls, and rarely we were allowed to use the guest elevator for handicapped and elderly. The whole park was on a hilly incline, so walking the top down was okay. Bottom up is what exhausted us. In the evening near the base of the falls, native Ute or Cheyenne tribal dancers would perform, and we had to monitor crowds, which were slight breaks for about 15 to 20 minutes. These falls were frequented by area tribes for hundreds of years and was still considered spiritual, so it was the native tribes that pushed for their performances, since Seven Falls is considered a state park. At the end of the night, we would sit at the main entrance into the falls at the bottom of the canyon, off Lower Gold Camp Road, and monitor the toll booth until roughly 1 a.m., except during weekend and holidays. Then we were out there till 3 in the morning. On several occasions when waiting for the end of my shifts, I also always had occurrences that made me feel like I was going to get attacked by either an animal or a person. Guttural hissing, deep mannish groans, and harassing growls could always be heard from behind the giant gate. Glowing eyes, either red or white in color, but larger than area wildlife could be seen from behind brush and tree canopies. But what stuck with me is a shimmering humanoid shape. The shimmering was otherworldly. The way I always described it to my family and few friends was that of like the Predator. My first work firearm was an older Smith & Wesson semi-automatic single-stack pistol that was my dad's when he worked for the Fountain Police Department. But this was the first time I felt I was defenseless while working. I watched this shimmering silhouette crawl on the asphalt, over to the toll booth, to what then appeared to be it stood upright and extend a long, waving arm. This looked like a being phased between the physical and incorporeal realms. As I shifted my weight to look closer as I was awestruck, the glowing, reddish eyes slowly came back in focus. Then, in a snap, I hear what sounds like an animal climbing up the side of the toll booth gutter, and watched as the shimmer jumped to a tree, no less than 20 feet away. From here, the shimmer jumped again. This time, a broken branch fell from the tree. A loud clashing sound rang from the top center in the gate, as the shimmer looked back one last time before going over the gate and disappeared into the Seven Falls Park.
A world traveler went missing in the mountains near my town. Don't try to find her no matter how much they offer. This story I'm about to tell you is 100% real, and it comes from the area that I live in. My town is not rural, but it's not big, and we are surrounded by mountains. By word of mouth, there are particular places in these mountains that are forbidden places. Not because they are owned by anyone, but just because of the mystery that sprouts out from them. My city is hundreds of years old and has so many different cultures mixed into it that we have a good amount of ghost stories. This one true story of a person who has gone missing in one of these areas is one that still scares me every time I hear it because it makes no sense. To this day, you are still able to see the plaque of this missing person strung up on a tree off the side of an old dirt road that my family and I ride our ATVs on. On the plaque, they offer money to the person who could find her body, which is still up there. The area she went missing in, or at least the road, is called the Devil's Pass, but I'm not for sure on this. I've heard other people refer to it like this, but this may not be its official name. So let me first tell you why her disappearance is so strange. She was a world traveler and had gone to every continent, so she had to have been good with maps. Also, according to her children, she had been to the destination she was trying to get to before, which was off of a paved road. Somehow, she ended up pulling off of the paved road onto an old rocky dirt path, which leads into the forbidden territory. At night is mainly when the area is supposedly dangerous to be in, and I have only been there during daylight hours, and I never left the road. However, there is a feeling of being watched while you are in this area, and it just has an unsettling presence. Or this might just be because of all the stories I've heard behind it that made me paranoid. Anyway, the lady for some reason didn't stop and just kept on going. She ended up getting high-centered and couldn't drive anymore, according to the police report. Now, some of you are going to say that she was drunk, and that's why she kept on driving in the middle of the woods, and the police thought the same, until the woman's daughter informed them that she had called her mother while she was driving there, before she lost phone signal. Her daughter told them that when they had talked, she sounded perfectly fine, and that she wasn't slurring her words at all. So, to continue with the story, the woman gets out of her car and checks to see if there was a way to get unstuck. It was a rainy summer night, so the cops, when they came out of the crime scene, could see her footprints. They never left the perimeter of the car. For some scary reason, she was nowhere to be seen. They brought out forest rangers, volunteers, and even dogs to find her. The dogs never tracked her scent any further than 10 feet from the car. It was as if she vanished off the face of the earth. Her body is still up there, and it's been around 25 years since it happened, and still, no sign of her. The award of finding her body still stands though, which is more than $1,000, but I would never try it. That area is not meant to be gone into, let alone searched. No one knows why it's cursed in my town, but the stories date back to the early 16th century, when it was first settled. I'm scared of actually sharing the story. If you talk about this area a lot, bad things seem to happen to you. I'm not superstitious about much unless it involves this place. I was going to go camping close to that area once with a bunch of friends, but when I told my mom, she without hesitation said no. It was a no that didn't matter under any circumstances because it would not change. I'll finish by saying that there are things in this world that shouldn't be explored, and this is one of them.
Hey folks, it's me Lucid. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Special thank you to Danie Dreadful for joining me this evening. Her work is absolutely phenomenal and her talents and everything's just, can't get over it. If you guys would like to check her content out, I will leave her info and everything you guys need to know in the description and in the comments below. Also, if you folks enjoyed, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps me reach a wider audience of folks and it allows me to bring out more content that you folks will see and love and enjoy. Now, with that being said, I do have a live stream happening this Tuesday at approximately 8 PM EST. Lady Spookaria will possibly be joining me, I believe. And on a final note, expect regular uploads to start happening soon, every Tuesday and Friday, sometimes special videos on Sundays. But that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, it means the world to me, and I've been here for 2 years now and all the love and support has just been phenomenal. Also, not to mention, we're almost at 800 subscribers. That is freaking nuts. But yeah, I love you guys. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, the dark is simply the answer.